Hey, Canucks fans, the Canucks have signed a veteran defenseman to a PTO, but it's not Calvin DeHaan. It is Danny DeKeyser. I'm Canuck Clay, and this is my Canucks take all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary for Friday, September the 9th. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. Before I get to this little bit of minor news for the Vancouver Canucks, a couple things. The first one is this Sunday, I'm launching Clay's Canucks commentary live. My live stream is going to 5 nights a week starting this Sunday night, September 11th at 10:30 p.m. Pacific, doubling as a podcast as well, which I'm excited about. And speaking of podcasts, I recorded a audio only, a podcast episode last night, a 28-minute podcast episode about me, about my fandom, about my background, exactly what makes me qualified, if that's the right word, to even talk about the Vancouver Canucks as much as I do. So if you want to check that out, look up Clay's Canucks commentary wherever you listen to your podcast, Apple, Google, Spotify, wherever it may be. And I would love for you to give that a listen and let me know what you think. And that's, again, in anticipation of this Sunday. The other thing I'm going to say real quickly is finalizing all my ticket prices for a couple pairs of season tickets I have, one in the upper bowl, one in the lower bowl. So I will announce on my channel here when I can make that list available to all of you for anyone looking to pick up some Canucks tickets for this season. Okay, let's talk about the minor news today. I'm quite surprised that, to be honest with you, that the Canucks, what I saw first was the Canucks announcement. So around 7:30, 7:45 this morning, Canucks put out a tweet saying that they have signed defenseman Danny DeKeyser to a PTO. Now, I want to talk about Calvin DeHaan, the other one, first, because the Canucks have been linked to DeHaan for a couple months now. Obviously, they weren't the only team linked to him because Calvin DeHaan actually signed a PTO with the Carolina Hurricanes. And DeHaan most recently played that last season with Chicago, 31-year-old defenseman, kind of like a stay-at-home type guy. And I don't know if it's because he decided to go to Carolina on a PTO that triggered then the Canucks and DeKeyser deal, or at least the PTO there, or maybe these were independent of each other, which I highly doubt. Regardless, the DeKeyser news came out first, but it could very well be because the Canucks knew that DeHaan was going to Carolina. So who is Danny DeKeyser? Well, he used to be a good player. He really did. And I remember picking him up in my fantasy league once in a while. I think I picked him up and dropped him a couple times. He was an undrafted defenseman, and he's played 10 seasons with the Detroit Red Wings. And he was part of that team back in 2013, 14, 15, where there's the post-Lidstrom era where they were, I'm not sure if actually his I don't think his career overlapped with Lidstrom, but he played with guys like Cronwall and others, where Detroit was just kind of coming out of their really, really good years. But DeKeyser has had a pretty solid career, especially the first half of his career. He's played almost 550 games. He has 146 points in those 550 games. But he undrafted, like I said, but made the Detroit Red Wings and played like 60 games that season. So the first 5 years of his 10-year career, he was playing like 60, 70, 82 games. So he was very, very solid. In fact, I think his fifth season was the year that he played all 82 games. He had a 2-year entry-level deal, a 2-year next contract, and then he signed a massive 6-year deal with the Red Wings, $5 million a season. So he made $30 million over the past 6 years. The first year of that 6-year contract was the 82-game season, like I said. And then his career's kind of being like a tale of two halves. The first 5 years being solid. Then the next 5 years, not so much. One year he only played 8 games. Last year he played 59 games. He had 11 points in those 59 games. No goals, 11 assists. But then he was sent down to Grand Rapids, their AHL team, 2/3 of the way through the season back in March. And I don't think he ended up playing any games for Grand Rapids. I don't see any stats for him there. So this is a player who's 32 years old. He's born in March 1990. Like I said, undrafted, all 10 seasons with Detroit, but obviously a player that's on the decline in his career. And it goes with age. Obviously, he's 32 years old. And you can just see from the stats, like I said, the first 5 years of his career, solid, averaging 70, 75 games a season. Now I've seen, an 8, a 59, another one in the 60s, I think. So not as consistent over the past 5 years. He is a left-handed defenseman. So you might say, well, why do the Canucks need another guy on the left side? And that's a really good question. Right now, I think it's about building depth right now because we're not sure about Pullman's health, although it sounds like he was on the ice yesterday skating with the group that's assembling here. But you can never have too much depth on D, and we've seen that in the past. DeKeyser's not going to be expensive. I expect him, if he's on a PTO, he's pretty much bound to sign for the league minimum or very close to it, so somewhere between 750 and grand and 1 million. So it's not like it's going to break the bank for the Canucks or any team that ends up picking him up, if any team indeed does so. So he's not like the fastest skater ever. He's I'd say he's a bit more mobile though than say Calvin DeHaan is, but especially in his early years. So I think with DeKeyser, you're really looking at just a guy like a Brad Hunt. Doesn't play exactly like him, but a guy who can bring some insurance and really be like a third pairing guy or first guy up kind of thing. So number 5, number 6, and number 7. So he's not going to be anything more than a third pairing defenseman right now. You could argue that the Canucks have a lot of those, but then again, it could be some insurance for either side. I don't think he's played a lot on the right. So maybe if somehow he does really well in training camp and he sticks, then maybe it's part of the plan that I've kind of talked about, which I'm not sure is going to happen, maybe moving OEL or Hughes to the right side. Because with DeKeyser now on the Canucks left side, you have Quinn Hughes, you have Oliver Ekman-Larsson, you have Travis Dermott, who can play both sides, you have Jack Rathbone, and now you have Danny DeKeyser. On the right side, you have Tyler Myers, Tucker Pullman, Luke Shen, and then you still have Brady Keeper, who's on the roster, and I'm missing one. It's not Keeper. I said Rathbone for the left, right? Yeah. I'm missing one for sure. So I gotta think. I know there's one more guy because Brad Hunt's gone. Keeper. Gosh, I had a brain fart. Anyways, I'll get back to that. So all to say, it doesn't look like upon first glance that there's a spot on the roster for Danny DeKeyser, but he could surprise some people and earn at least a backup role or a third pairing role with this team. One other thing that often happens with PTOs, professional tryouts, is a player may not sign with the team he signs the PTO with, but then he might show well enough, maybe not well enough for the original team to keep him, but then he might show well enough where another team in the league then takes a chance on him. So obviously Danny DeKeyser looking to resurrect his career a little bit after 10 years in Detroit. We will see what kind of impact, if any, he will have on the Vancouver Canucks. Let me know what you think. Do you think that Danny DeKeyser has a shot at making this team, or do you think there's simply too many guys ahead of him that that in essence are going to make it very tough for him, and ultimately he's just going to come to camp and then be let go before the start of regular season? He might even get some preseason games in there as well. But let me know if you know what you know about Danny DeKeyser, and if you think this news has any impact on the Vancouver Canucks. Shout out to my sponsors, Van City Experts Real Estate, and to Perform and Transform Personal Training and Weight Loss. Thank you, legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Justin Credible, legendary Andrew Chang, and all Hall of Fame and franchise members. I appreciate you. And thanks to all of you for watching and staying loyal to this channel. If you made it this far to the video, 8.5 minutes in, make sure that you leave a comment down below and type in double D, DD. It can mean a lot of different things, but today it means Danny DeKeyser. So type in double D, DD, and then I know you made it to the end of this video. Subscribe if you'd like to. Like this video if you'd like to. Become a member or upgrade your membership if you'd like to. Leave a tip, a super thanks if you'd like to. And leave a comment down below if you'd like to. If this news moves the needle at all for you. Okay, friends, stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. Have a great day. God bless, and go Canucks go.